Now, you like this Yoda better than the other Yoda.
Yeah, and you know what? Go back and look at that other Yoda.
First of all,
you can practically see the guy crouching underneath.
The other Yoda never looked like a sock puppet, and not only didn't he not look like a sock puppet, but Lucas has said that he tried to make this Yoda look like the Muppet Yoda.
Only more expressive, and there's this whole crouching Yoda, hidden dragon thing.
Do you like the fact that Yoda turns into an action figure now with his lightsaber?
I think that is a scene that Star Wars fans are going to absolutely love. I loved it.
It's totally out of character form.
It's not totally out of character form. That's part of his skills. He's not just this brilliant philosopher. He's also a Jedi warrior.
And you have the Force.
He's a Jedi master.
If you encompass the Force, you don't need no laser saber.
You do when you're going up against another Jedi dude who's also got super duper
go like
powers.
This.
No, well,
you're Yoda. Nobody can stop you.
Well,
Blade joins a recent group of comic book superheroes who have been brought to the big screen. Batman and Superman, of course, come to mind, and also the Crow, the Phantom, the Mask, Spawn, the Men in Black. Who have I left out?
I'm waiting for Archie and Jughead.
Oh, Archie, I'd like to see Veronica.
Good.
Particularly.
Yeah, okay. And
on the big screen.
Yeah, I like Veronica better.
Okay.
Always brunettes, never blonde.
Very good.
And I would like to issue a warning right now to all teenagers. If you're planning a vacation deep in the woods and you're in a truck with a bunch of horny, attractive, beer-drinking friends, and the first stop you make is a spooky general store manned by a toothless creep, run for your life. You're in a bad splatter movie. Now, I ask you to study the following scene involving a demented child and a victim of the flesh-eating virus. If it makes sense in your universe, please explain it to me.
Pancakes!
No pancakes.
Cabin Fever is also yet another film that picks on a group that's always maligned in the movies, the inbred white trash overall wearing mountain man. Ever since Deliverance, these guys just can't catch a break. Aren't there any kindly and insightful inbred mountain men?
Here's a scene that seems like a parody of the speeding bus in Speed. A bomb expert, Jeff Bridges, has to defuse a bomb that will go off if a college student, get this, stops typing at her computer or the computer runs out of available bytes of memory. Unbelievable. There are bombs aplenty in this picture, many of them quite ridiculously elaborate, none more so than when Jones wires up an old friend of Jeff Bridges, played by his real-life father, Lloyd Bridges.
I'm scared to move. I'm chicken.
And I'm sitting there thinking, where did he get all the stuff to wire up that old man like that? And the guy sits still while all this stuff is being put on him like some kind of Christmas tree. It's very silly.
Talk about those Rube Goldberg devices. There's one set up on the abandoned ship that Tommy Lee Jones is hiding out on, you know, where the ball runs down the chute and knocks over the bottle, which pulls the string, which sets the lever, which pulls the switch. And you say, is this guy a bomber, or is he entered the Westinghouse Science Search? I mean, why would anyone go to that much trouble when all you really have to do is blow somebody up?
I think Rollerball consists of throwing a ball at a golden gong and setting off a shower of sparks without getting yourself murdered, but I'm not sure. Even the Romaine Stamos character admits she doesn't understand the game, which is okay, because Jean Reno suspends all the rules, all of the fouls, and all of the penalties in order to get a player killed, and also, as he keeps screaming, to get that North American cable deal. You don't often see a big-budget movie this incoherent and chaotic.
It's pretty horrible. Yeah, it's not that hard to get a cable deal. There are a lot of channels out there.
There's not a person in the audience who couldn't get him that cable deal.
He's close to getting the deal, and he's killing people to get it. And, you know, yeah, Rollerball ain't no Quidditch. I'll tell you that as a sport.
You know, what I love is the instant global television ratings meter, which demonstrates that the rating goes up when something interesting just happened.
Yeah,
which means that people who were not watching somehow sense that something great happened.
They're calling their friends saying,
tuned in.
More blood on the track. It makes no sense. None of it does.
Home, and right away let me risk offending some of the nation's children by reminding them that I did not like the original Free Willy. In fact, I didn't think the whale was so lovable in that picture, basically because of an insight Steven Spielberg gave me into movie creatures. You relate to their eyes, he told me, and I could barely see Willie the whale's eyes, so dark against his gray-black skin, so big a head that I could only see one eye at a time. Yes, Willie, you're a big blob to me. And since Willie did not go on a diet for the sequel, my criticism remains the same. Boy is now grown up in the sequel. At 14, he's old enough to use his friendship with Willie to help him pick up a girlfriend. The other kid in the movie is the boy's half-brother from New York City. That means he's obnoxious, right? Kind of a rotten city kid who would dare to spray a whale with a squirt gun. Ooh, he's frightening.
One problem I had that you didn't touch on, Willie apparently has learned to speak English.
How so?
And because when the kid talks to him, Willie understands, and he even nods his head. And believe me, when Willie nods his head,
well, you know
that
where that's
takes
from.
some doing.
You know where that's from?
Where?
Flipper. I mean, that's what they just.
Well, yeah,
up.
but you see, Willie is a whale, and whales aren't supposed to be.
Well, they swim in the same water, and Flipper's been giving him lessons.
Well, maybe that. Now that would be a movie.
You know, the Powerpuff Girls movie, yet another summertime release for the kiddies, though I'm told this franchise has its adult fans as well. I hope never to meet any of those people.
Behind Enemy Lines recycles two of the most beloved cliches of bad war movies. Cliche number one, the immature hot dog show-off turns into a hero when the chips are down. Cliche number two, the enemy can fire thousands of rounds of machine gun fire, rifle fire, tank fire, and even missiles at the guy and never hit him, but when he fires back, well, he never misses. Amazing is that the Owen Wilson character even made it that far. Here's a guy who's trying to evade a manhunt, and he walks through open fields, poses as a conspicuous silhouette on the tops of hills, and even takes off a ski mask at one crucial moment just so we in the audience can see that it's really him. The movie has an irritating habit of backing him into a tight corner and then switching locations on us without explaining how he got from that hillside to that mountaintop. And the bad guy who tracks him seems incompetent at everything except looking like a bad guy. Behind Enemy Lines is spectacularly unconvincing.
It's a video game, but it's a bad video game. I mean, most video games have more complex plots. There's another cliche, of course, the old switcheroo on the uniform.
Oh, yeah,
of course,
yeah,
the uniform, it's like a bad Three Stooges skit. It always fits perfectly.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
you take the guy behind the curtain, you pop, 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 then you put on his uniform and you get right past everybody. This is such a terrible movie.
The screenplay for this movie is also amazing because it makes a serious tactical error. It uses too many scenes in which the characters incessantly cry out for each other.
Yes.
Carol Ann, Carol Ann, Bruce, Bruce, Patricia, Patricia, Carol Ann, Bruce. Finally, the night that I saw it, even the audience was joining in. Carol Ann, Bruce. I mean, I must have heard the name Carol Ann 1,000 times.
Now, I'm disappointed. I'm pleased that we're getting into the dynamic of this show. I'm pleased that you were smart enough to pick up on Carol Ann.
Thank you very much.
But I was hoping that you wouldn't, because I was all going to do my Carol Ann imitations.
Oh, good.
And so I have to
That
do
will
it.
be denied
Because
that.
I was saying there, I wonder how many times the name Carol Ann is said in this movie. My guess, you guess, just in a second. Think, 100?
100
100 times I heard the name Carol Ann.
Up and down the staircase.
Carol Ann.
See, Skerritt goes up. Carol Ann as he goes
Carol
up.
Ann.
Then behind him is
Why couldn't she
Nancy
just-
Allen, his wife. Bruce as she goes up.
How
Then
about
comes
this? Why couldn't they just have said one time in the movie as a joke, Carol?
I have a real affection for the line where Orlando Jones says, "There's always time for lubricant." I thought that was a classic line.
Oh, but it was in a terribly tasteless, stupid
well,
scene.
now,
Come
of
on,
course, it had
come
to do with the favorite subject of comedies this spring and summer, which is the lower end of the intestinal tract. I mean, we saw a movie where somebody had his arm stuck up a cow. Then we saw a movie where somebody had his head stuck inside an animal. Now Orlando Jones goes entirely inside the alien. And I'm sitting there wondering, am I a film critic or a proctologist? I mean, what's going on with these movies? Isn't there some other way to get laughs than with excremental humor?
I hope so. Excremental humor.
Yes, that's what it is.
That's the scientific term
That's
for
what it is.
If this movie had a theme song, it would be "Dumbbells Keep Falling on My Head." The story makes no sense. I feel for every family that's going to be suckered into seeing Home Alone 3.
Now, this is going to astound you, but I'm giving the movie thumbs
It
up.
does astound me. Are you okay?
Better than you were the day that you liked Starship Troopers.
Okay. Oh, no.
Tolkien's Lord of the Rings books have enchanted tens of millions of readers. But as a movie, The Fellowship of the Ring gets bogged down under the weight of all those mystical speeches and self-consciously quirky characters. You've got 9 members of the Fellowship, dueling wizards. You've got an elf princess played by Liv Tyler, an elf queen played by Kate Blanchett. Just too many characters for me to care about. On and on it goes, only to reach an abrupt non-ending straight out of a Saturday afternoon serial.
So you're giving it a thumbs down?
I'm giving it thumbs down. Whoa.